Hey everybody, welcome back to our Raising Chickens series where we're going to show you everything you could possibly need to know about raising chickens from the day you bring them home all the way till you get your first egg and beyond. So in the last couple of videos we showed you how to build your own DIY brooder and also gave you a couple of alternative options for brooders if you didn't want to build your own. And today in part 5 we're going to show you everything that you need to set up your brooder for the day that you bring home chicks, and today's video is brought to you by Roosties. So now that you have your brooder built or ready, you might ask the question, well, where do I put it? So a couple of things to consider about the location of your brooder is it needs to be sheltered, it needs to be out of the elements, away from predators, and it needs to have a power source since you need to have heat for your chicks. So an example of this could be a garage, a shed, your front porch, maybe even your bathroom. For us, we're just using a spare room in our basement. So come set this up with me while I talk you through the 4 main components of a brooder. The first key component of your brooder is going to be your bedding. We like to use pine shavings. A lot of people like to use smaller things like paper towels or newspapers when it comes to chicks. We've never had an issue with pine shavings, and it's readily available at all of your feed stores. So now that you have your bedding ready, let's go over components 2 and 3. Food and water. So when it comes to your chicks' food and water, you're going to need a really reliable feeder and waterer, and you need to look no further than Roosties. Anyone who's brooded chicks before is going to know why I love this feeder, because the days of trying to balance your food and spilling it all while you twist it into your feeder are over, because you twist it in once and you've got a top load feeder. And I love this feeder because it's made of strong, BPA-free, durable material. It's not flimsy like a lot of the other brands that you'll see out there. Another thing I love about the Roosties chick feeder is the fact that as your chicks start growing, they're gonna start scratching a whole lot more, and there's gonna be a lot of debris that starts getting into your feeder. And so you're gonna come up with some jerry-rigged way to keep it up off the ground to try to keep your food fresh and clean. But Roosties solved that problem for you by providing extendable legs on its chick feeder. So just one thing I want to warn you about that I see quite a few people do is I'll see people put a bowl of water and like a plate of food in their brooder, and that can be problematic because the second you put a chick in there, they're going to jump on top of that food, they're going to start scratching it everywhere, it's going to go all over their bedding. And that's why we love the Roosties chick feeder, because it comes with waste-proof feeder ports. And the other problem with the bowl of water is the fact that when you put your chicks in your brooder, they could run right over to that bowl of water, trip and fall in and drown, which is why we love the chick waterer from Roosties, because it comes with a narrow water port, that way they can't actually fall in and drown. So make sure you go to the link in our description to get your own chick feeder and water set from Roosties, and it'll also be in our Amazon storefront. So finally, last but not least, the 4th main component to your brooder, the great debate: how to heat it. So now we get to the age-old debate. Should you use a heat lamp or a heat plate to heat up your chicks in your brooder? Now for our first 2 broods, we used a heat lamp and we were successful both times. I want to start off by saying we are not heat lamp shamers. If you want to use a heat lamp and it works well for your situation, by all means go for it. But keep in mind it does get extremely hot and it can be a little bit of a fire hazard. But for this brood, for the first time ever, we're actually going to try a heat plate. Now it's quite comparable in pricing, so we went ahead and went with it because it's known to be a bit safer. And since we're indoors and we're using a rubber tote, we wanted to go with a little bit of a safer option by using the heat plate to avoid the excess heat that you get from the lamp. What you see here is all 4 components put together: your pine shaved bedding, your Roosties chick feeder and waterer set, and your heat plate to put together a brooder that's ready for chicks to come home. So now that you have your brooder box ready for chicks, make sure you come back tomorrow where we continue our Raising Chicks series.